What the heck is the nose all about? Let's just spend a few minutes and talk about some really basic thoughts. Why do we have a nose, and why is it here, and what is it doing? Well, at first you may think the nose is there just to kind of hold up the glasses. Pretty handy. Now let's think about where the nose is located. It's located right above the mouth. Not a coincidence, because it's our early warning detection system. It allows us to sort of smell things before we ingest them. Now, once things are in the GI tract, they're not technically inside us until they get absorbed, but still, it's a little dodgy if you bring something in that you didn't mean to. All right, now, let's look at the nose. Now, most of us know that the nose has something to do with smelling, right? The sense of smell. And you're right that we have actually, it's not shown here, but we actually have little bits of the brain. There's little fiber-like projections down here, which are our olfactory neurons that hang down here. And they have the ability to sense different types of odorants that come off of material. Now, so smell is one of the big functions of the nose. The other big functions are to heat the air, to moisturize the air, and to clean the air. Because remember, if I'm bringing air up here through the nose, it's eventually, hopefully, going down into our lungs. Now, why do I want to do that? Well, think about heating the air, because the ambient temperature out here is probably not the same as our core, and we're about to bring that air down into the core part of our body. So this helps to heat the air on the way down. The other thing is that heating the air causes a small degree of expansion. So when you heat a gas, it expands. Is it the primary thing that causes lungs to expand? No, but it contributes a little bit to it. The next thing is that I want to moisturize the air, because when the air comes in, travels here, once again down to the lungs, it heads to these little sac-like areas called the alveoli, and the alveoli have a thin water layer inside, and it's very much like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. You don't want that water layer to be too thick. You don't want to be too thin. You want it to be just right. So it's important that we don't introduce super dry air that's going to dry out these beautiful mucous membranes that run all the way through here, all the way down, and that little water layer down in your alveoli. The next thing is, air is full of stuff. We don't see it, but it's floating around. Well, maybe you do see it on a really bad day. And we want to filter this stuff out, and your nose is pretty good at filtering it out, because not only do I make some mucus up here that's going to trap it, but the design of the nose is really basically a floating in the air chunky thing capture device, if you want to think of it that way. So what happens is when I breathe in through my nose, now it's hard to see, these little things are called conchae. They're little bony extensions that are covered with mucous membrane. And what they do is as you breathe air in, first of all, it's increase the surface area, so more air is in contact with that warm, moist, mucosa type material that's in there. And the other thing is the shape of them. It's hard to see from the shape, but as you head to the back, they twist a bit. So when I breathe air in, the air is actually going to spin, and the spinning air is going to put more air in contact with the membrane here, which is going to warm it, add moisture, and trap stuff. And the other thing is, when the air gets here, there's a really sharp 90-degree turn, and that is another little device that helps big chunks fall out here before they get too far down in the lungs. So let's take a moment to appreciate the nose. It's not just about smell. It's not just about holding up my glasses. It heats the air, it moisturizes the air, and partially cleanses the air. So thumbs up for the nose.